So what follows is going to be an explanation of hopefully the entire circle's unit, all the stuff you need to know. I'm going to start the clock in, let's see, a couple of seconds here. And once I start it, I'm going to see if I can try and explain the whole unit to you in 60 seconds. And go. Okay, so here's everything you need to know. You need to know that the radius is half the diameter. And the radius, if you square it multiplied by pi, it'll give you the area of the circle. If you take the radius, you double it, and you multiply that by pi, that'll give you the circumference. Now, what are these things? Well, in order to understand all this, you need to know a little bit of vocabulary. You need to know that the radius of the circle is this red thing here. It's just a measurement from the center of the circle to the edge. Diameter is a measurement all the way across that passes through the middle. Circumference is the distance around the circle. It's like the perimeter of the circle. The area of the circle, we call it the area of the disk, is just everything inside. An arc is just part of the circumference, like a chunk of it here, just on the outside. A sector is a chunk of the area, like a slice of pizza here. And the central angle is just an angle that shows up right at the center of the circle between two radii. So using those terms, you can get the area by saying the area of the whole circle, I take a radius, I square it, I multiply that by pi, that'll give me the area of the whole inside of the circle. To get the circumference, I just take the diameter and I multiply that by pi. Or I could take the radius and multiply that by 2 and multiply that by pi, and that'll give me the perimeter of the circle, also known as the circumference. If you only want part of those things, like the arc is part of the circumference, then you can set up a proportion where you have arc over the circumference going to be in proportion to the central angle that matches that arc over 360. Likewise, if you want a sector, which is just part of the area, you set up a proportion that has the central angle over 360 to give you something like a percentage of the sector over the total area. See here, this sector, if you want it, is just part of the whole area. You say, let me put this angle here over 360 and make it equal to the sector area over the total area. Likewise for the arc, which is just part of the circumference. And those are all the formulas you need to know for this unit. If you retained all that, you're good to go. If you didn't retain all that, then don't worry, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of homework so you can learn it and retain it real well.